David here, 3v3, Typhon Arena, Blues team. First up is Commissar. Vocaloid plays a Lord General. This is Death Core of Krieg DLC, so you will hear that crackling over the vocals. Nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. He is a defensive and support commander. Fights range combat begins with this Stormtrooper retinue that you see there. Alongside, Silenze is a Grey Knight Brother Captain, durable commander that walks through cover and cannot be suppressed. Very good offense and support fights in melee combat. And rounding off the blue team is HandS0me as a Legion of the Damned Force commander. Very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also disrupt, tank and support with some buffs. Red team, a couple of Chaos players. First up is Haidran, plays a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive commander, walks through cover and cannot be suppressed. Very good offense, disruption and fights in melee combat. This is Wordbearer's DLC. Alongside is 187, plays a Warlock melee commander, great disruption and mobility, can also tank damage with the right war gear. And rounding off the red team at the bottom is Mowgli, plays a Plague Champion, starts out range combat with the damage of a Time Bolter, can get melee weapons, very good versatility and utility, but is very slow, can also build turrets and repair. Looks like the Warlock has been backed off. Plague Champion and Warlock alongside each other can be very powerful, I think. Lots of disruption from the Warlock, and the Plague Champion is going to go down here. 11 hit points under Noble Worship, he will get away. Those Strike Squad models do pretty decent range damage as they're chasing with those Storm Bolters, and double Heretics are forced off. So is the Warlock and the CSM. Banshees all alone need to back away. 462, 500, no, he's going after them. Big mistake, look at that special attack from the Strike Squad, good grief. Instantly forces them off. They only lost one more of those, so that's okay. Blue team doing well at the bottom. At the top, it's Chaos Lord versus Lord General. It's a pretty strong matchup for the Chaos Lord. Usually does very well versus IG, just bully them around, get his Combi Flamer to pick off models and level up. He's going for CSM straight into some Noise Marines, which I've been doing quite often myself these days. Dire Avengers in retreat. This is Ulthway DLC, so the Dire Avengers stay in their core black. Sentinel is decapping a tier 1 vehicle that can decap points but cannot cap them. Great synergy with those repairing guardsmen, can protect them with this ground pound. And that helps a lot versus the Chaos Lord. Can't suppress the big fella, but you can stun him with that ground pound. Looks like he's backing away right now. Here comes CSM for some ranged bolter fire. The Noise Marines have hit the field. Some Catachan Devils on the way for Vocaloid. There's the ground pound on those CSM. Knock back a little bit of damage and a stun, and it takes a model out from that guardsman fire. Now they're in retreat. Now the Chaos Lord is in retreat, and that's a good engagement for Vocaloid. Nicely done. Baited Haidran out. His forces were spread out and he takes the engagement nicely. Here are the Noise Marines. Ranged squad with a Sonic Blaster, disables ranged weapons and some ranged abilities, shakes structures to the ground and does a decent amount of damage to infantry as well. Kicking off bottom though, grenade launchers firing in. Big engagement here. Those are Inquisitorial Stormtroopers with their grenade launcher, losing models like crazy though. Look at this, Mowgli has double grenade launcher heretics himself and wipes out those Stormtroopers. Silenze not paying attention to his Stormtroopers there, tried to get his Purgation in for some damage and lost sight of what he was doing with his Stormtroopers. Force Commander has a Power Sword, great power weapon, 50 DPS, there's 120 power to get this thing. Also it increases the effectiveness of his battle cry, which is going to be very powerful at the bottom because there's two armies around him that he can buff. 462, 406, alongside that we are the hammer buff as well. Brother Captain taking a very long retreat path, but he's going to be fine. Mowgli with double CSM, double heretics. Haidran with Noise Marines into some more heretics. He has grenade launchers on these guys. These guys with an aspiring champion, no, double grenade launchers. All round for the Chaos players. Silenze replaces his Stormtroopers, and he had grenade launchers on those guys, so that was quite a big loss. HandS0me with some Assault Marines. Jump troops that disrupt when they land. Fog pistols and chainsaws disrupted themselves though by the kinetic pulse of these rangers. Such an awesome unit, these guys. If you can use them well, and they're not easy to use in my opinion compared to other units. Got to try and keep them at maximum range. Taking out that scout squad on retreat. Also got to have the timing and the awareness to use their kinetic pulse right. But if you can use them right, they're amazing, and they synergize quite well with the Farseer's Guide and crack shot from the Warp-Spider Exarch as well. The Warlock allows you to get that double disruption, and you can allow him to leap in and then follow it up with a kinetic pulse to really keep things on the ground. We'll see if he can pull that off here. There's the hollow fields. Yet another thing that Rangers can do. Really hate facing Rangers. Banshees could do with a heal. They've lost the model. They do have their aspects of fleetness. Look at the damage they take as they get in there. Wow, that was crazy speed. War Shout suppressed. All of this Grey Knight stuff. Here come Double Dire Avengers. What are they doing? I thought they were coming in for a grenade spike, but they don't have their aspect. That was a huge mistake. Strike Squad quite low on hit points, taking shots while losing 2 models to the double CSM of Mowgli. Warlock kicking some serious ass with the Merciless Switchblade, an awesome tier 1 weapon, one of the best I think. Drains energy with each hit, some good DPS, and has that knockback ranged attack. Plague Champion going melee himself with a Plague Sword, a power weapon that ignores the melee resistance aura that most, well, all melee squads and CSM and Tax also have. Can he finish off the CSM? He can finish them off. Wow, Power Sword doing the business with alacrity, and Bolt Pistols I think finishing it. Assault Marines jumping off. See the amount of damage that Plague Sword does to those Assault Marines. Because of that, ignoring the melee resistance aura, you're doing 40% more damage to melee squads. It is such an awesome counter initiation weapon. If you're up against Raptors in a mirror or up against Assault Marines, Plague Sword really puts pressure on them. 436, 364. And since he's at the bottom of Typhon Arena, the low mobility of the Plague Champion is not so much of an issue, since he's not of huge distance from his base, as you can see. 436, 351. Plague Champion on his way to level 2. Can he finish off this brother captain? Retreat, breaking stuff, almost. There's a Hell Fury on retreat just to try and back the things off. That was a waste, I think. Blue team have this contested power. 436, 341. Players starting to go tier 2. Haidran and HandS0me still in tier 1. Looks like Haidran lost and replaced one of his heretic squads. Plague Champion needs some heals. Where are his heretics for some worship? There they are, and there's the worship. He's worshipping with both squads, which is a waste. It will not stack. 436, 341. Strat squad already with their Justicar. Heavy infantry squad, good both melee and ranged combat, with some nice abilities with their Justicar Purification, which returns energy to an allied unit or commander, and also the energy burst, which will help greatly versus those Howling Banshees, I think. Kicking off at top, you have some Tactical Marines with Flamer. HandS0me helping out up here. 418, 341. He might cut down and hit this power now. The generator is nicely lined up for a Flamer. 414, 341. Sentinel pushing forward. No sign of its missile launcher, but he has dropped a bunker here. Gonna be a medical bunker, I would think, unless he wants a repair bunker up to try and keep this Sentinel around. 405, 341. Grenade launcher heretics against grenade launcher stormtroopers. Grenade launcher stormtroopers are slightly better. Their grenades move faster, as you can see on the barrage. 396, 341, but of course they don't have the utility of heretic worship. Look at this heavy bolter turret up in a very spiteful position, but not the best position. If they can force off this red stuff, they can easily go around and flank. 393, 341, that's if they can force them off. Those double heretics are bunched up, just waiting for some area of effect. Maybe a plasma cannon dreadnought. Grey Knight dreadnought is on the way. 393, 339, 2-to-1 cap for the blue team. Vocaloid doing very well at the top. Haidran, what's he up to? Is he pushing back? He is going to push back. Has those Noise Marines. Is it worth him going for the Blast Master? I do think the Sonic Blaster does scale quite well if you can support it, protect it from melee squads. 393, 326. Generators going down. There's the grenade barrage disrupting that purgation squad. They still have their incinerators. Here comes that force commander with that power sword. CSM getting absolutely wrecked here. Wow. Got their aspiring champion just in time, I think. Rangers are still there. That turret is still there. Turrets have defense building armor, or building defense, which means it's weak versus flame weapons. So if this tactical marine flamer can get close and use its flamer, also those purgation squad models, I think they are flanking around. Looks like they're not going to be needed here. Down it goes to the assault marines. Turrets do have a minimum range, so if you can jump in, tie them up in melee combat, they can't shoot at you. Chaos Havocs coming up now. Plague Champion still just with the Plague Sword. Brother Captain tying up these Havocs with his 30 DPS default melee weapon. And he's backing away now. 377, 320. Purgation and Flamer Tactical Marines hitting power, both of them. These gens are not going to last long. What's going on here? Haidran pushing back. CSM getting too close. That's a point blank range. Let the galaxy burn. Ouch. That is pain. Look at the amount of guardsmen that died. That was nuts. And there's a kill of the week as well. Armor of the Inferno is such an awesome armor piece. Nicely priced now as well in Elite Mod. Noise Marines with their cacophony, knocking back both allied and enemy nearby infantry. Can use it in a pinch to save them from melee squads. Got to keep them away from your own stuff though. Chaos Lord without a combi flamer. Is he going to hit power now? I suppose he is with those Noise Marines. Look at the damage to the generators. Here comes a Grey Knight Dreadnought though, and it has the Dreadnought Claw. The melee upgrade for the Grey Knight Dreadnought is now a full melee walker and has the awesome Maelstrom ability. Manticore to force off the Chaos stuff, which works. Kicking off at bottom, there's a Whirlwind up from HandS0me. Artillery piece geared towards disruption more than damage. Also has a Hunter Killer missile though, so will help you out versus vehicles. And look at the disruption to that Eldar stuff. Banshees do not have the aspect of strength, or I'm sure they'd start chasing down that Whirlwind. Aspect of fleetness gives them dual power swords on their Exarch, not a spear. And what is this Dreadnought doing? There's Maelstrom. He's going to try and escape with it, but he went into a seriously bad engagement there. Plague Marines from Mowgli were infiltrated though, so he didn't know they were there. Maybe he thought there was no anti-vehicle. Taking hits, and the Plague Champion has switched to the Plague Fist. 72 DPS heavy melee with the awesome Pestilent Strike. This might be a dead Dreadnought. Did not last long. Can the Plague Marines get one more shot here? There it is. The Dreadnought lives, being repaired by scouts. Plague Marines are tied up. Plague Champion's too far away. Plague Marines are going in for the kill. Can they make it though? Disrupted by the Whirlwind, and amazingly, that Dreadnought lives. 41 hit points. That could be a huge moment. Havoc's moving up. Double Havocs from Mowgli. Liking his play here. 360, 273. Vocaloid being a bit static on this contested power, I think. Every time I come up here, he seems to be sitting still waiting for Haidran, who now has a Chaos Dreadnought. Vocaloid has gone tier 3, so he won't be able to instantly answer that. He could get melter guns on his Lord General, could get a missile launcher on his Sentinel to put pressure on it, but I don't think that'll be enough to take it down. As a Manticore, does huge damage to vehicles if you can catch them standing still. 342, 273. Mowgli keeping heavy bolters on both of his Havocs. That's a Noxious Cloud. Kinda wasted. 334, 273. Manticore Strike. Whoa, retreated just in time. Would have lost both Havoc squads, I think, if he didn't. But does save them just about. Force Commander being trolled by the Warlock's ranged attack. Look at the range on that thing, it's crazy. 310, 273. The Force Commander going to revive. He's not even going to be able to revive. He's got Kinetic Pulse to deal with, and that Merciless Switchblade knockback, and we have Dark Reapers on the field for 187 heavy infantry. with some long range plasma damage. These guys hurt heavy armor a lot. And if HandS0me goes for some Terminators later on, they're also going to hurt those guys a lot with super heavy infantry armor. And he's got some Vanguard.
Sir, we're losing a power node.
First Company Assault Marines. These guys get a full power weapon, loadout, Thunder Hammer, Lightning Core, and 2 power swords. They can also swap that Thunder Hammer for a Power Fist, but I quite like that Thunder Hammer. Gives them that 15% knockback chance. 233, 237, 273 even. Triple cap for red. Tier 3 for Haidran, Tier 3 for 187 also. In fact, Mowgli is the only one still in Tier 2. He's gone quite heavy Tier 2, got the Fist, got the double Havocs and the Plague Marines, and he's going for Fetid. 206, 273. Now Haidran has taken both of the natural VPs. And he's going to hit power. There's not much to hit, only a node here. Red team looking very good right now. Grey Knight Dreadnought's back on the field after extensive repairs. And we have a Sacred Standard Force Commander. Constant 25% damage buff around this guy now. Goes up to 40% if he goes down. Which is outrageous, really. I'm assuming that buff stacks with his battle cry also. 141, 273, triple cap for red. Blue team need to respond quickly. Vanguard veterans will do a lot of damage to those heavily armored Dark Creepers, but they're back at base right now. In fact, 187 looks like he's lost quite a bunch of stuff. Has Rangers and just Star Avengers alongside them with those Dark Creepers in there. Heretics dying in droves. Loses all of his Heretic squads now, Mowgli. Yes, double Las Cannon Havocs. And down goes that Dreadnought. Wow. But here come those Vanguard veterans absolutely wrecking stuff with those power weapons. Good grief. Catching the Havocs in retreat. 111, 272. Here come those Plague Marines. Nice generalist unit with a snaring missile launcher. Predominantly used for anti-vehicle, but they can do a lot for you. Tie up things. Generally hold their ground against overwhelming odds. 111, 263, and the Plague Champion can put Touch of Nurgle on them for some added fun. Haidran still has this Chaos Dreadnought, and Vocaloid's gone for some Kasrkin. Does that mean he's going to get Melter Kasrkin, which I can't remember ever seeing in the field? He is. Can't wait to see this if he gets weapon expertise, which I assume he will. 111, 250, 2-to-1 cap for blue. 187 has responded with a D cannon and some more Dark Reapers. Tactical Marines being chased down by that Plague Fist. Suppressed by Unholy Stench, which is awesome. He's gone for Blight Grenades late game, which is a surprise against Grey Knights and Space Marines. Maybe he wants to throw it on those double Stormtroopers. It doesn't quite have the energy to do so now, and he's getting shot up badly. 111, 234 is going to go down if he's not careful. Getting knocked around by that Whirlwind. That Whirlwind's been really annoying. He kind of getting shots. Here comes the brother captain teleporting in level 3. Trying to tie things up. Now his energy's being drained by that merciless Witchblade though. And the Plague Champion lives somehow. It did not go down there. 111, 218. Let's Touch of Nurgle on the Plague Marines. Trying to get close to these Stormtroopers and detonate with a death. And HandS0me has spotted it and is moving away so they don't die to his power sword. And that was a wasted Touch of Nurgle in the end. 111, 209. What's this? Singularity. Paladin's teleporting in. And they already have an incinerator. And this thing is a bit broken at the moment. Does huge amounts of damage initially. Much like the Grey Knight Flamers did when they were first implemented. Looks like these guys still have the old Flamer fire pattern. 111, 201. Wow, lots and lots of damage on them though from Markov Zinch. Chaos Space Marines level 3 from Mowgli. Look at the damage. The Paladins are taking double Dark Reapers on them now. 111, 201. Tactical Marines capping. These guys capping 50% faster than normal. Force Commander level 6. Alacrity, Sacred Standard, and that Power Sword still up. Paladins are chasing these Chaos Space Marines, and look at the damage that Incinerator does. taking down the aspiring champion there. Wow, that's nuts. I assume that's going to be fixed for the next update. 111201. Cacophony. Noise scaling well here. Tanking damage and forcing off double stormtroopers. Need to be careful now though. This dreadnought is way out of his comfort zone. Do they have any AV around? The paladins are backing off, so it's safer now. 111201 Vocaloid taking his natural back and has a Leman Russ, and he does have Kasrkins with the melter guns. No sign of weapon expertise though, unless it doesn't give the plus icon. I think it does. 111201 Heretics with some Corn Worship helping that dreadnought get around. Force Command has switched though to his Power Fist. He's trying to use Flesh over Steel, which as you can see is a bit buggy on moving targets. You basically need to catch a vehicle not moving or try and teleport in and surprise it. 109201. As you see there, the Sacred Standard buff does not affect allied vehicles. And here's a great unclean one from Haidran. Mowgli has lost a lot of stuff getting a Chaos Predator. Using ability, Mr. Great Unclean One, Eldritch Storm on the Leman Russ that could finish it off completely. There is Cloud of Flies as well. Good grief, that was a bad engagement for Haidran. Great Unclean One can finish it off with some rear arm hits. There's one, there's two, one more, and that Leman Russ is done for. So unlucky for Vocaloid. Not that easy to avoid. Eldritch Storm with tanks. Takes down the Force Commander in retreat, throws him aside. Now you see that increased buff, but it's not in a very helpful place. 61201 even. Kill Space Marines repurchasing their aspiring champion. Double Dark Creepers. Very expensive squad when you get all their upgrades. There's their Exarch with that Tempest missile launcher at the front. 51201. Whirlwind is still around. Paladin's back on the field, healed up. Vanguard Veteran is there, almost level 3. And these guys look set to get a buff in Beta 5. 42201. Strike Squad. Without a weapon upgrade on those guys. Perhaps could have done with a Psycannon or something. 35201. 2-1 for red. Can they see this out? Red team are holding bottom for now. D-Cannon is there. Awesome artillery piece. And there's a Singularity. Going to keep that strike squad at bay. 28201. Vocaloid has decapped red team's natural, which is nicely done. He now needs to cap that back quickly. Haidran. Because this is close. Paladin's taking tons of damage. Not the thing to go for against double Dark Creepers and Marcos Inch. Chaos Space Marines, but look at this now. Assault Terminators getting rear armor hits on this Chaos Predator with those big heavy melee Thunderhammers. Is it a dead Predator? Has Mowgli somehow saved this thing? No, there's one more hit and down it goes. 28193, Brother Captain goes down immediately. Looks like he had the Force Staff there, Nemesis Force Staff, to buff his Paladins, I assume, but he's lost them. 28186. Grand King one's coming bottom. Waddling. Greater Demon with huge amounts of hit points and some nasty abilities as well. You do need to worship the big fella to get the most out of him. Haidran does have Heretics. Mowgli only has CSM trying to rebuild with some Heretics. And blue team, they have a chance here. Haidran needs to be very careful where he goes. He has the best army, I think, on his team with a Great Unclean One and Chaos Terminators, but he's got caught badly here with an Orbital, and that is some serious damage. That was, I'm not sure who that was. I'm imagining that was Silenze, since HandS0me got some Terminators on the field. 28179. Mowgli lost his CSM there. Wow. And now Haidran needs to try and split his forces between taking his natural and keeping hold of this contested, or should he go all top and try and get both naturals? That might be the best thing to do, since he should be able to outmuscle Vocaloid up there. There's the light grenades. Very strange choice from Mowgli. Not sure why he didn't get Icon of Noble. 28-164 or the Mucus Discharge even. Dark Reapers coming in. Wow, look at the DPS on the strike squad. Gonna go down. Yes, they are. Silenze not paying attention to his stuff. Here come Paladins. Whoa! D-Cannon getting friendly fire on the Dark Reapers there. Wiped out an entire squad, almost wiped out the other one. And now the D-Cannon's in trouble, goes down. An excellent melee push from the blue team with Paladins alongside level 4 Vanguard veterans. 2300 hit points. Are they going to cap? What are they going to do? They're going to try and cap under range of fire. These are level 4 rangers as well. And look at this now. Lightning Claw Chaos Terminators against Paladins. Not a good fight for the Paladins. Lightning Claws are the most dangerous anti-infantry weapon in the game pretty much, especially against heavy and super heavy infantry. Just completely tears them to shreds. Those Nemesis Demon Hammers that the Paladins carry are heavy melee weapons, good DPS, but they attack much slower than his Lightning Claws. 28-149. Lightning Claws also have splash damage, of course, and they make short work of those Paladins. Silenze has another Grey Knight Dreadnought, is going for the Dreadnought Claw again. Force Commander is still down up here, incidentally. He's level 7 and down. I might want to repurchase this guy. Assault Terminators and Vanguard Veterans. Manticore Strike on the VP does not knock down the Chaos Terminators though, and they finish the cap with a 2-1, 27-149. And he's been aggressive with his Terminators, which is what you need to do with Lightning Claws. You can try to counter initiate with them, but I think it's better to be aggressive, especially since he has Khorne Worship to back them up, though his heretics are all the way up here. Mowgli has some... oh, these are Mowgli's Lightning Claw Terminators. We have double Lightning Claw Terminators around. Avatar of Cain on the way for 187. Not seen the Kasrkin do anything yet. This is a new Kasrkin squad, that's why. Really awesome. Nice and quick. And they start with 2 grenades as well. Some good DPS on those guys. 6-147 Eldritch Storm went off. Looks like it was largely dodged. I'm not sure if these guys died too. I don't think they did. 6-142. Blue team are going to cap bottom. They're going to get a double, are they? A quick double at least, and that's a full retreat from Haidran. That was a mistake. Maybe he thought that was a rocket run. It was only a creeping barrage from Vocaloid. Ouch. Kasrkin getting chased by the Chaos Dreadnought, which is now level 3, and Haidran has a lot of resources. You could get something. You could get a Predator or something up there. 6-114. What are they gonna do? Haidran needs to cap his natural. Here come Lightning Claw Terminators to do it.
They have 100
still a double cap for blue. They're still in this. Silenze has quite a lot of resources as well. Could get another Dreadnought or a Purgation Squad or something. Could get a couple of Purgation Squads. Here's the Avatar of Cain. Super unit for Eldar. Passively buffs nearby allies. And it's pretty awesome in combat. But it's going to have a fight on his hands against Lightning Claw Assault Terminators. All that power melee damage versus that super heavy infantry armor of the Avatar does a lot. All kicking off. Here comes the Dreadnought. Good choice versus Lightning Claw Terminators. Their power weapons not really designed to take down vehicles. And this Dreadnought is taking some arse here with special attacks and stuff. Here comes a Great Unclean One though, and a Chaos Dreadnought there firing away with an autocannon and a Nurgle Shrine being worshipped also. This Dreadnought needs to run away. Great Unclean One doing big chunks of damage. The Avatar taking tons of damage itself. 6-41, 2-1 cap for blue. Mowgli with triple heretics alongside his Terminators. There's a creepy barrage again and again. A full retreat from Haidran. Why does he full retreat out of that? He needs to tank the damage and get back in. Maybe he just retreated because he wants to go back to his natural. We do have a melter gun. Lord General, look at the damage these Terminators are taking, but they are ripping apart those guardsmen. Executioner is so awesome. Rapid firing plasma cannon on a tank. And the Chaos Terminators teleport away. bottom is slowly turning red. Can they cap it? 6-22. Blue team done an amazing job to hold on here. Plague Champion goes down, and now the brother captain is going to try and cap. He has Holy Armor of Titan, and there is Immortal up. Nemesis Force, Nemesis Warding Staff I should say, and the Teleporter Pack. Now the Great Unclean One's being chased down by Vanguard Veterans, level 4 Vanguard Veterans, so they're doing a lot of power melee damage to this guy. 5, 15. Blue team are going to hold on, are they? Now the Force Commander is trying to help cap. The Great Unclean One goes down, and that's going to explode. Is it going to affect those two commanders though? There's a lot of damage and heals allies when he dies and explodes, but here's an Imperial Abyss, takes out the brother captain. The Force Commander is not in the central circle though, and lives and finishes the cap, and there it is, 5-0. Good grief, a crazy match. How did Blue team pull that off? Mowgli, I think, just lost too much stuff towards the end and couldn't really recover. Got that Chaos Predator, lost it. Got his Terminators and tried to back it up with multiple Heretics, which wasn't the best idea, I think. Should have gone for some CSM or something, but there you have it. Let's look at the commanders. Level 4 Lord General was down at the end. Looks like he was firing his Manticore at the end as well. Put the pressure on. Haidran was trying to split his forces because Mowgli lost so much stuff. Maybe he should have stayed top and pushed both naturals. Silenze was a level 7 brother captain. We saw his gear, Warding Staff, Holy Armor of Titan, and the Teleporter level 8 Force Commander switched to Power Fist, Alacrity and Sacred Standard. Level 6 Chaos Lord only had Armor of the Inferno, 187. Warlock had the Merciless Switchblade, I'm not sure if he had anything else. And level 5 Plague Champion with a bit of an odd loadout. He had Fetid, the Fist, and Black Range, which is not what you usually see. But there you have it guys, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.